Musclean Fitness, the Timinator here, and we are testing out the Total Gym weight. As you can tell, I have all of my stuff that I need right here to hook up, and also I will be rerunning this test just a few times just to make 100% sure that I am 100% accurate with this. If anyone has any issues or any comments or anything like that, just let me know. Maybe a better way of making it more accurate. But I will do this live if I have to, so that way people know that what I am saying is true. Alright, let's go ahead and get this together, and I'm going to show you how I'm doing it. Alright, so the Total Gym is kind of familiar and similar to the Bowflex in the fact that I have to pull it to get the weight to start feeling the weight on the machine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach these big old hooks on here, these big old guys right here, and I'm going to hook them on the end, and then I'm going to hook it all together, and then I'm going to weigh it itself. Alright, so same basic principle as the Bowflex here, except for just a little bit different. I'm obviously going to turn it on right now, so let's go ahead and switch you around to the right position as I turn it on. I'm trying to do this all by myself, so this is not easy. Alright, so it's at 0 pounds right now. Alright, let's go ahead and pull it just a little bit to see how it does with no weight on it. Usually when I weigh this with my body weight on my body weight scale, which is obviously not as accurate as this scale, it runs in at about 20 pounds. So let's see how close that actually is. Okay, alright, so at the top part is its heaviest, and I'm not going to pull too hard, I'm just going to pull a tiny bit, but it looks like it's evening out about 7 to 9 pounds. Okay, so rest weight is 7.85 pounds. Alright. Alright, so I've just turned around the scale, and to prove that it's still pretty damn accurate, either way you put it, doesn't matter if it goes this way or the opposite way, I'm going to go ahead and lift it one more time while I have the video on. Okay, 0 pounds. 0 pounds. Okay. This is just pulling it. Pulling it normal. No extra added stress, no extra added weight. So it's actually a little bit heavier this way, just a tiny bit. So it's running in, going the opposite way, about 9 pounds, 8 pounds-ish. This is not 100%. Still, if I had a machine, I could make it perfect, but unfortunately I don't. Alright, so this is my body weight scale, obviously. Pretty much everybody has one of these. If you don't, they're not the most accurate pieces of equipment out there, but they do give you an idea of how much you weigh, and it's pretty close. So let's see what my machine will tell me here, because I'm going to do a test on the Total Gym. Alright, so 240.2 pounds. Now, some people are asking me the question, you know, does it have the weight on there? Does it do this? Does it do that? And the answer is going to come right now. It's coming out right now, right in front of your eyes. I'm going to set this scale to 0, and you're going to find out. Alright, so here we are, we're at 0 pounds. I'm sitting on the machine, 240.2 pounds. Let's see how the Total Gym weighs me in at. This can't be right. There's no way that's right. Let me try this again. Well, here I am being honest with you guys. I did not expect this result, but I have a feeling that body weight is probably not the best way to do this experiment, but if I'm doing something wrong to not make it be 240.2 pounds, let me know. Okay, so I'm going to try this again, but I have a feeling that I think I know why it's not measuring my weight, but I'm going to make sure that I'm correct or incorrect. Okay, so a 25 pounder, it's about 5 pounds off, and that's, that's depending upon if I go. That's very interesting. And I think it's mostly due to it does the tension only when you pull. So there's your answer for that. So it is basically the weight that it says it is. It does make it slightly lighter. But my question is, how did 240 pounds go to 21? I think I may have figured out my issue. The lower this machine is, according to Total Gym, the easier the exercises are. So maybe, possibly, that's part of the reason why it's taken off so much weight. I just don't know why I'm measuring a 20 pounder and I'm only getting 5 pounds off, and then when I put my body weight on there, it's only 20 pounds, which makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. You saw it face to face. It's 22 right now, steady, and I'm not even pulling it at max. So it's not even that far off. Oh, yeah, and then it goes to 4 pounds. So I think it's just not, the tension is just not what it should be. And I think is the real issue here. Alright, so I'm technically not supposed to put it at this level for the machine, but just for maximum efficiency at this point, I'm going to do it. So let's go ahead and try this again one more time. Alright, so here we are. 0 pounds again, max. I'm pulling it. Alright, that's a little bit of a different result. Good. So when this machine is at max, the weight does increase. That is a very good sign. I like that. Let's go ahead and test the 25 pounder. Alright, scale is off. 25 pounds. Make sure that it's at 0 before I start pulling. Gosh dang it. This thing is too accurate. Alright, pulling. Alright, so 21.29. It's just so odd that it goes low when it goes higher, in my opinion. But there's your answer for that. It is about the same weight. It probably does lose a small amount of weight. That's pretty much what I'm concluding right now. Well, I guess the simple fact is, I want a refund, Total Jim. Because if this is true, I'm going to be really mad. Alright, so I'm getting to the bottom of this, no matter what. Right now, I have it hooked up with this on top, 0 pounds. Simplest, easiest way to find out how much weight is actually going on to there. Should be, anyway. Alright, let's test it out. Okay. Alright, is it lifted? Okay, it is slightly lifted off. We're currently at 8.2 pounds. And we're high. And it's going straight up. I turned it all the way off. Let's see if it says something different. What? I feel like I'm doing this wrong somehow. How is that even? That makes absolutely no fucking sense. Alright, unraveling the mystery of why this is off in weight. As you can tell, it is as tight as I possibly can get it without lifting anything. And I'm using one, just one, because it seems to be that if I use two, the weight measurement is not accurate. So let's go ahead and do it. I'll pull it back until it's lifted pretty sufficiently. Pretty sufficient lift. Should be. Okay. Let's add it max. Okay. Should have moved a few things, I guess. I didn't realize I was going to have to do this much to get an accurate weigh. Alright. Resting weight should be 25 plus pounds. We are tight. Okay? Can't do it any other way. 16 pounds. Alright, that's a little bit closer. Everything is perfectly tight. And I don't know, maybe it needs to be more down or up. I'm trying to figure out why is it this experiment is going swimmingly, as you can tell. Alright, and just to show you where it's at before I reset it again, negative 6.44 pounds, which makes no sense whatsoever. But I'm going to go ahead, disconnect it, and then go ahead and reset it to 0 again. Let's go ahead and do that. This is maddening, I tell you. Alright, nothing on it, nothing connected. Okay, that works just fine. Tear. Alright. Let's go ahead and get it connected. I need 2 hands to do it, unfortunately. Once again, before I tear it out to 0, 0.75 pounds is what this by itself weighs without anything. It's not moved. It's not anything. I'm starting to get just a little bit cranky about this because I have been working out with this machine for 20 plus years, and I am basically astounded at this point. Alright, 0 pounds. Pulling the machine. It's not measuring the machine weight. It's supposed to be measuring the weight that's on it. I'm going to pull it to max and then we're going to see what it's at. Because I am sick and tired of getting no result. Okay, almost to max. Alright, all that effort and for what? I don't know yet. But, as you can tell, this guy is at max. I cannot pull it any further. And it's going to stay that way. Tight as hell. We're staying like that. What is the end result? 10.71 pound? How is this possible? I just got 22 pounds. I don't know what to say, you guys. This is ridiculous. I'm going to go sit on it. Alright. I'm going to go sit on it. Alright, so I'm going to go sit on it. Okay? It is basically at max still. And after I sit on it, after I show everybody from 10.58 pounds, I will show you that the machine is still connected. As you can tell, it's still tight. I'm not making this up. Alright. Let's see what it looks like. I'm gonna let it rest. Alright, here we are. So, just showing everybody that it's still connected, still at full. Okay, this is tight. This is all the way tight. There's little to no drag, okay? And maybe, possibly, this is the reason why I'm not getting a correct, accurate scale rating for the weight. But I doubt it because these same types of contraptions are on the Bowflex. Alright, so we're still connected, we're still tight, and I still got 63, maybe 69, I think it was 67 actually, 67 pounds, I'll have to look again. But, yeah, as you can tell, wonderful time for testing, I suppose, huh? Total Jim, you need to explain. I think we need to understand why this is happening, honestly. And, I mean, maybe it's just because it's not tight enough. I don't know. I mean, that looks pretty tight to me. Maybe it's a little bit of drag, but that's because I want the weight to actually weigh itself. I mean, am I doing this wrong? Alright everybody, so here I am, day 2 testing of the Total Gym. Thought of a completely different way to do it, and maybe it's why I'm getting the results I am, but I'm going to make sure, like quadruple, maybe even 5 times check this math. I mean, we all know that there's obviously leverage points. We all know that there's obviously easier ways to lift heavier loads of weights, okay? We already know that. Everybody knows that, but the weight doesn't change. It doesn't dissipate into nothing. It doesn't go into magical outer space weight holder area, okay? Whatever you want to call it, you know, conspiracy theory or not, weight is still the weight that it is. So if you pull a car with a tow, it obviously makes it easier to move. But does that mean that it weighs any less? Of course not. The car still weighs the same amount, no matter what you do. So let's go ahead and start up this next area and phase of testing, just to double check everything. Alright, let's go for it. It's actually triple to quadruple checking now, but we're making sure. Alright, so just to prove to everybody that this is a 25 pound and it actually weighs 25 pounds, first we're going to weigh the 25 pounder. So just to show you how precise this scale is, that's how much the small metal crane that is on there weighs. 0.22 pounds, LB, right there. Alright. Now for the 25 pounder. Moment of truth. Okay, so with the 0.22, it's at 25.8, so a little bit below 25 pounds. Okay, we know that for certain now. This is either exactly 25 pounds or just slightly lower than 25 pounds. This is my standard weight. It's real. Alright, so my next step obviously is to prove that the Total Gym sled by itself actually weighs what I'm saying it is, because my weighing scale for my body weight is not 100% accurate. So let's go ahead and put that on there. As you can tell, I've upgraded it a little bit to be able to strap on more free weights, so that way I can have more to lift. Alright, so Total Gym sled minus 0.22 pounds. Okay, that's a little bit less than 20 pounds. It's about 19 pounds, a little bit less, okay? But it's super close to 20 pounds. So we're going to roughly say 19 and a half pounds, 20 pounds to be fair. Okay, so my last step, obviously, is to get rid of this cable system that is probably giving it way too much leverage. So we're not getting an accurate read. So I'm going to attempt to make it a little bit more accurate. Whether that be with a rope or some other piece of equipment to make the measurement a little bit more accurate for me, since I'm getting pretty I'm getting pretty disappointed at Total Gym at this point in time. Okay, doing it while recording. This is without tearing it out. We're adding on the 0.22 pounds that this one metal hook weighs, and all I'm doing is strapping on my upgrade. Alright, come on. Let's do it. Okay. Alright, strapped on. Okay. Hardly anything making it lighter. It's pulled up, okay? No matter what I do, it's pulled up. 7.23 pounds. Alright. So now my next area, since I don't have any leverage except for the wheels being on the actual platform, I'm going to start adding some weight here, just to test it out, just to see what happens. Alright, I don't know how this tiny little thing gained about 0.4 pounds, so what I'm going to do is go ahead and pull it off, tear it out, because there's no way this thing got heavier. I mean, come on, that's not realistic. Okay, somehow it got heavier. I have no idea how. Alright, so to be more precise then, we're just going to go ahead and tear it out to 0. Alright, we're at 0 pounds, not including that, which we already know from a couple of videos is 0.22 pounds. We're on pounds, LB. Not kilograms, not N, whatever that is, N, kilograms. I'm not sure what N is, but okay. Alright, logically thinking, 25 pounds, this is the one that I use, it's the same one, it's not fake. Okay, it's not a fake weight, it's real. Alright, I'm going to do this again. Alright, we're nice and tight. 16.31 pounds. Okay, and this is without hardly any issues or any holdups. Okay, so I'm just going to do that since that's kind of yanking on it. Might be maybe making it slightly lighter. Alright, so we went up to 17.1. So now we're getting somewhere. Let's figure out the next test. Alright everybody, here we are. I'm not certain if this rope will hold my body weight or not, but I'm still going to sit on it. Okay, so if you hear a loud bang, that's why. Let's go ahead and test this again. Body weight 17.01 pounds with a 25 pounder and the sled. Sit on it slow. I'll let it sit there for a minute, or a couple seconds, should I say. This is with my whole body weight right now, and it's on the machine. All right, so far I can tell that no matter what I do, I mean, I've obviously increased it now to 110, 117 pounds ish, depending obviously. But I think what is happening here is that it still has a leverage point somehow, at some point, making it seem less heavy. I guess I'm trying to understand exactly what's going on here, but I already know, and everybody else knows, that something weighs a certain amount if it weighs a certain amount. I mean, what, have I just been lied to my whole life? I only weighed 115 pounds. That scale over there is lying to me. I mean, I've already done countless tests with this, and with little to no results for an actual amount of weight, which in my brain would be more realistic, obviously. So I think, and I think everybody else would agree with me, Total Jim, you got some explaining to do. Muscle Enhanced Fitness, the Timinator, I want to let everybody know this test has been honestly done. Coming out to tell you, need to let everybody know that I thought for sure that, body weight workouts on Total Gym meant body weight. Well, apparently it's probably only about half of your body weight. According to this weight scale, of course, according to this very super accurate weighing machine. And it could just because of how I'm running the test. It could be because of how I'm setting it up, maybe. All I know is weight acts the same whether it's sideways, going down, it acts the same. It's not going to weigh less just because it's on a platform to the side. I mean, it's possible that the platform is taking off the weight by holding it. That's definitely possible, but weight doesn't just dissipate into nowhereness. It doesn't just disappear. Okay, weight is weight. It's always there no matter what. It's just easier ways to move it and easier ways to go about it, obviously. So maybe that's what this test is concluding. Maybe Total Gym isn't lying about how the stuff, how this actually works. It's just when you actually put it up to a crane scale, I don't think it has that capability to understand that, you still weigh, obviously from a perspective of my weight scale, which might be off by a couple pounds, 240 pounds. Okay, so half of that weight could be being held by the actual platform itself, and then the other weight being pulled on the sled, which honestly doesn't really make much sense in my brain, but that's kind of the sense that I'm making out of it at the moment. So, yeah, I think we're going to look more into this. Team Muscle-Linux Fitness, we're definitely going to do that. We're going to see what Total Gym will say, if they're even willing to talk to me about it over phone, through video, obviously, and just get their reaction, get their understanding of how this possibly could be happening like this. And I mean, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm willing to admit to everybody that, I haven't been lifting the weight that I have. I'm not that much, I'm not so egotistic that I'm not going to say, oh yeah, that can't be true because I lifted that much. No. What I did is I did calculations that I thought were correct, and according to a calculator, they're correct. But according to this specific weighing machine, in reality, it is not correct. Alright? So, in my mind, I thought I was right. So, I apologize if it seems like I'm lying to you guys or anything like that. I'm not trying to do that here. This is not what we do on our channels. I promise. We're not trying to lie to anybody, and we're not trying to sell you nonsensical bullshit. Okay? Being 100% honest with you. Like, subscribe, grab life by the horns, unleash your inner bull, and please don't hate me. Please. Thanks.